I could care less what Bitcoin trades for, how it trades, why it trades, who trades it. If you're stupid enough to buy it, you'll pay the price for it one day.
500 billion of fiat right now has been converted into Bitcoin. It's been repriced. There's hundreds of trillions of dollars of capital out there today, and we're only at 500 billion being repriced into Bitcoin. And we're right ahead of a halving event in April. So we are massive bulls on this. It's our biggest position.
In our business, what's interesting is the wirehouses, which dominate our customers. So Morgan Stanley, all the advisors at these wirehouses, Morgan Stanley, UBS, Merrill Lynch at B of A, Wells Fargo, not one of them has approved Bitcoin on its platform. That hasn't even happened yet. And those are our primary clients. When that happens,
explosion.
Cryptocurrency is about to explode, my friends. There is mass manipulation and price suppression going on right now to the highest degree. Global whales, the biggest elites, they are trying to suppress the price of Bitcoin, just like the infamous George Soros tried to and did suppress the price of copper so he could buy it all.
The oldest trick in the book. If you want to buy a lot of something, what do? You shit on it. Right? When George Soros wanted to corner the market in copper, right? What did he do? He didn't go out and buy a bunch of copper. He went out and sold a bunch of copper and spread rumors that copper was going to zero. Then you swoop in and buy a whole bunch after the price collapses. That's what I think went on last year.
The information that we've discovered around all of this is amazing. Like, most people have no idea what I'm about to share with you in this video. Seriously, the next 5 minutes could change your life. Like this video, share this video, post this video. The more people who know about this, the more well off us Bitcoin holders will be. Comment your end of 2024 price predictions, because I'm still bullish. It's going to be big.
I think in the next 12 months, something over 100,000, maybe 150,000. And, in the next 5 years, again, there's a finite supply. I think in 5 years, something around 500,000.
The rat pig, Jamie Dimon himself, despite fudding Bitcoin to no end.
I could care less what Bitcoin trades for, how it trades, why it trades, who trades it. If you're stupid enough to buy it, you'll pay the price for it one day.
Despite calling on Congress to shut Bitcoin down.
Deeply opposed to crypto, Bitcoin, etc. You pointed out the only true use case for it is criminals, drug traffickers, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance. If I was the government, I'd close it down.
Despite floating more bearish statements out into the press than almost any other entity.
Bitcoin, my personal advice would be don't get involved.
The rat pig Jamie Dimon himself, behind the scenes, has been setting up his Bitcoin strategy this entire time. This isn't the first time that JP Morgan Chase and Jamie Dimon have done something like this.
On September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks, people listen. People listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. And that's not illegal.
He says it's a fraud.
It says he'll fire anyone that buys it. Yes.
And at the same time, his company is buying it.
His company is buying it.
It's just, so unethical.
So do not be fooled. Do not be dumb money. We know that despite JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon saying that the Bitcoin halving and the Ethereum upgrade are largely priced in, that despite JP Morgan floating more kind of bearish price predictions for the rest of this year, see, we know that JP Morgan and all of his friends are in much more than they tend to lead on. JP Morgan Chase has 10% equity ownership in Ethereum co-founder Joe Lubin's Consensus. JP Morgan already using crypto technology to tokenize US Treasury bonds, mortgage-backed securities, cash, real-world assets on Ethereum rails. See, this is normally the type of data that only JP Morgan would have. Now, because of blockchain, the general public gets access to this information, but there's no way that JP Morgan Chase doesn't realize this. OTC Bitcoin balances have dropped 80% over the past year. In fact, OTC Bitcoin is at an all-time low while Bitcoin demand just keeps on increasing. Interesting. The great 2024 Bitcoin supply shock has begun. Like, who understands markets more than Jamie Dimon? Who understands markets more than JP Morgan Chase? There's no way they haven't seen this data. There's no way that they're seeing this not going, well, 2 + 2 = 5. No, it equals 4. It equals way more demand and way less supply. There's no way their analysts haven't seen this chart. There's no way they can be bearish knowing what we know. And again, it used to be that only the financial elites got access to this information. Because of blockchain, we know this. The information's there. You just need to follow accounts like mine or study yourself and realize what's there to realize. Bitcoin purchased by ETFs this past week, 30,000 Bitcoin taken off the market. That same time period, only 6,000 new Bitcoin produced put onto the market. When people buy more of any commodity, they always make more, including gold. When there's a greater demand for gold, they start mining more gold. With Bitcoin, you cannot do that. And in fact, supply flow gets cut in half in just about 45 days. You see what's going on here. The biggest haters, the biggest naysayers towards Bitcoin and crypto over the past 13, 14 years are now all getting in. Morgan Stanley has now filed to buy Bitcoin ETFs with 12 of their funds, according to recent SEC filings. See, they would never admit this. They have to file. That's how we know. Guys, it's happening right now. This is going to continue to happen. Bitcoin just made the biggest monthly gain candle in its history. This is more bullish than any month in the last bear market. Guys, the market's going to go in ebbs and flows, but we are in an uptrend. Keep in mind, every time the market dips 5-10%, we're going to see people in the comments going, it's over, it's done, time to sell. And every time Bitcoin pumps 10-20%, people are going to say, we're going to 100K, we're going to 500K. And I think we do get to these prices eventually. But do not be fooled by retail market sentiment. Have a strong investment thesis. Stay the course. So Wall Street can finally buy in now. Now, those on Wall Street who have already bought in, literally giddy, talking about how excited they are now that they have their core Bitcoin and crypto hodl positions. Like, for instance, this guy, Bill Miller IV, tells CNBC, we're in the early innings today of a massive capital repricing event. We are massive bulls on this. This guy is so giddy.
In mid-January, when we spoke, you spoke about the bull case, and it's more than doubled since then. Obviously, we know what Bitcoin prices themselves have done, but MicroStrategy, a bit of a leverage play on it. So I guess, what do you think at these levels, and where can it go?
We absolutely love it still, Michael. Thanks for having me on. It's our largest holding at about 14.5%. And it still has a massive runway ahead of it. It's our position that we are in the very, very early innings today of a massive capital repricing event. So we're going to the digital pricing of capital is becoming digital. Okay. And so if you look at the data on Bitcoin right now, what you see is that the realized capitalization, this is very different. It's different than the market cap. It's the realized capitalization of Bitcoin. The average Bitcoin, what the realized cap shows you is the price at which every last Bitcoin has traded. That's 24,000 today. Why is that important? Well, it tells you that the average Bitcoin holder is up 150% on their investment right now. It also tells you that $500 trillion of fiat right now has been, $500 billion of fiat right now has been converted into Bitcoin. It's been repriced. There's hundreds of trillions of dollars of capital out there today, and we're only at 500 billion being repriced into Bitcoin. And we're right ahead of a halving event in April. So we are massive bulls on this. It's our biggest position.
Do you disagree with this? Do you disagree with any of this? Because it's kind of amazing how many traditional finance, Wall Street investors, people that control big money, people who rub elbows with big money, these guys are bullish. After they buy in, they get real bullish. After Jamie Dimon buys in, after his friends buy in, he's going to get real bullish. So if this gentleman, Rick Adelman, is right, if Wall Street is right, then 150 billion is about to flow into Bitcoin ETFs by the end of the year. Things are going to get very crazy.
I'm anticipating that by the time we get to the end of 2025, we're talking 2 years, we're going to see total inflows of more than $150 billion. We're only at 5 right now.
And what is going to propel? That's a big claim. That's a big number. What's going to propel that?
It really isn't all that big when you do the simple arithmetic. Individual investment advisors, independents, those that are operating their own firms, collectively manage around $8 trillion in assets, and 3/4 of them, in every industry survey done by DAC-FP as well as by Bitwise, all show that 3/4 of advisors say that they're going to allocate to these ETFs, and that their average allocation is going to be about 2.5% of assets. Do the arithmetic. $8 trillion times 77% times 2.5% is $150 billion worth of flows, and that's just independent advisors. It excludes the wirehouses, it excludes the regional broker-dealers, it excludes the institutional investors.
And Cathie Wood echoes this sentiment. Cathie Wood says most of the money that can buy into these ETFs has yet to buy in, but they're about to.
In our business, what's interesting is the wirehouses, which dominate our customers. So Morgan Stanley, all the advisors at these wirehouses, Morgan Stanley, UBS, Merrill Lynch at B of A, Wells Fargo, not one of them has approved Bitcoin on its platform. That hasn't even happened yet. And those are our primary clients. When that happens, wait until you see.
Explosion.
Don't even get me started on how bullish I am for Ethereum, how bullish I am for altcoins. I mean, Ethereum is just so damn bullish. Altcoins, quality altcoins, just so damn bullish. But for instance, Ethereum, guys, Ethereum's supply continues to shrink. See, Bitcoin's supply flow shrinks, gets cut in half every 4 years. Ethereum's supply shrinks, meaning it's deflationary. Just take a look at these metrics. Insane. Insane. 11 billion worth of Ethereum has been burnt since EIP 1559 went live. If you exclude stablecoins, if you exclude staked ETH from the top 10 crypto assets by market cap, the dollar amount of Ethereum burnt is higher than the market cap of every single crypto asset outside the top 10. Coinbase, pretty much exclusively building on top of Ethereum. A single Ethereum L2 settles more value than any alternative L1. Ethereum is the only crypto asset other than Bitcoin that's going to get a spot ETF anytime soon. Ethereum is sustainably net deflationary. Whew, I'm bullish. I'm so bullish. Guys, check back on any of our videos from the past 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months to find out altcoins that I really like. And any of these videos that we've put out over the last 6 months, still very much good. You know, look back and find the ones you like and watch them, because that's where you're going to get a lot of your questions answered. My name is turning into an excellent year. Subscribe to the channel. See you tomorrow.